Let's go ahead and get started. So before we call this meeting to order, we'll hear instruction on how the public may access Spanish interpretation.
Gracias. Muy buenas tardes, estamos ofreciendo interpretación en vivo y en directo en español durante esta reunión. Si desea escuchar la interpretación en español, por favor pulse el botón Interpretation o Interpretación que está al pie de la derecha de la pantalla Zoom. Usted verá el globo mundial. Si usted ha entrado a través de la aplicación Zoom para los teléfonos inteligentes, seleccione su idioma presionando en More, M-O-R-E o más, o en los tres puntitos en la esquina inferior de la pantalla. Seleccione Language Interpretation y luego elija Spanish y presione donde dice Done o Listo. Si desea escuchar solo a los intérpretes y no a los oradores originales, asegúrese de presionar Mute Original Audio, silenciar audio original. Todos deben elegir un idioma. No se quede en posición destinada de apagada. Gracias. Thank you. Back to you, Madam President.
All right. Thank you. With that, we will go ahead and call this meeting to order. Would everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Alrighty then, right on to roll call.
Yes, I'll go ahead and take roll. Chair Viorchek,
Here.
Vice Chair Lexinger,
Here.
Commissioner Feiger is absent. Commissioner Imhoff. Here. Commissioner Williams.
Here.
All right, thank you. With that, we'll go right on to public communications. So this is the public's opportunity to speak on any topic which is not on today's agenda, and comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone who wanted to speak on anything? The audience, seeing none, open it up to Zoom.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and open up our Zoom platform for anyone who wants to provide general public comment. There are no hands raised, Chair.
Thank you. On to our consent agenda. Once again, we'll start with public comment on the consent agenda. Seeing no one in the audience, let's back to Zoom.
We'll go ahead and open up our Zoom platform for anyone who wants to provide public comment on the consent agenda. There are no hands raised.
Perfect. Thank you. Bringing it back to the commission. Do we have any thoughts, feelings, or motions?
I move to accept the consent agenda.
I will second.
Oh, sorry, actually, oh, okay, sorry, you had a motion to adjourn on, but so you got it fixed.
All right, that motion carries.
Thank you very much. With that, right on to new business. Let's hear about the Tahoe Cider Company major design review and request for an allocation and transfer of some CFA.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Commissioners. For the record, my name is Gretchen Skolman, and I'm an assistant planner with the City of South Lake Tahoe. The item before the Commission is a proposed commercial redevelopment located at 2280 Lake Tahoe Boulevard. The applicant, Ted Brown, who is also the owner of Tahoe Cider Company, LLC, submitted a major design review and TRPA commercial application to redevelop and expand an existing commercial building into a new cidery and bar. The project site has a verified 3,021 square feet of commercial floor area, which I'll refer to as CFA, The applicant is requesting the approval and transfer of 1,033 square feet of CFA to the site to accommodate the expansion. Please reference attachment 3 showing the approval from the city manager for this purchase. The project site is located within the Town Center Mixed-Use Corridor District of the Tahoe Valley Area Plan, which I'll refer to as TVAP. Eating and drinking is a permissible use by right. The proposed project is in the Town Center land use designation and is in close proximity to the designated neighborhood gathering place feature in the city's general plan. It is also adjacent to a transit stop located off of Lake Tahoe Boulevard. Here you can see the neighborhood gathering area as well as the transit stop located right on the project site. Site improvements include the site is bordered by 3 streets, Lake Tahoe Boulevard, Winnemucca Avenue, and Barden Avenue. The site has 2 driveways located off of Winnemucca Avenue, which access 2 existing paved parking areas. There's roughly a 4-foot vertical distance from the upper lot and lower lot. Currently, the site contains a garage and an office structure. The site has been verified as land capability Bailey's Class 7 and has 18,588 square feet of TRPA verified coverage. Here you can see views from Barden and Winnemucca Avenue, which is kind of that upper lot, as well as the lower lot. Site improvements include a new 5-foot sidewalk along the perimeter of the site. The city permit, which is attachment 5, has been conditioned for coordination with Public Works to construct the sidewalk in compliance with the city's public infrastructure engineering standards. The applicant is slightly relocating the driveway entrance that accesses the lower lot so that it is further away from Lake Tahoe Boulevard to provide a safer entrance. This driveway will access 6 parking spaces, including an accessible space, while the upper driveway will access 12 spaces, including 2 compact spaces. Per city code, the project would require 20 parking spaces, but the applicant qualifies for the TVAP 25% parking reduction due to being within a half-mile of a transit stop. Due to this reduction, the 18 proposed parking spaces meet the parking standard. There will also be a new dumpster enclosure by the upper lot. The enclosure will mimic the design of the primary building. Additionally, the project will retain the existing sediment basin located at the intersection of Lake Tahoe Boulevard and Winnemucca Avenue. There will be various parking barriers through boulders and vegetation to reduce the impact of the parking area from Lake Tahoe Boulevard. There will be various shrubs and tree plantings along the street frontage to enhance the scenic quality of the site. The proposed seating area will consist of a mulch surface as well as a paved surface and will have 2 elevated fire pits. Moving on to the building design. The existing concrete block garage will be retained and repainted, while the adjacent wooden structure will be demolished and rebuilt with an expanded floor print. The building is located more than 20 feet from any front or side property line or any pedestrian walkway, and therefore it is not required to meet the 75% transparency standard outlined in the TVAP for commercial buildings. Oh, and this view is from Lake Tahoe Boulevard. The proposed design includes architectural detailing such as decorative wood trusses and textured stone finishes as encouraged by the design standards of the TVAP. Here we have views from Winnemucca Avenue as well as from the seating area. The building itself will utilize dark earth tone colors throughout the design. The building will primarily be a dark gray-blue color. The roofing and soffit will accent the building by utilizing a matte black color. Here you can see a comprehensive view of the proposed materials. So for the lower floor plan, there are a few things going on. One is a cider production area as well as a cider storage area. There will be a tap room seating with an adjacent bar, as well as seating areas with a grab-and-go option. The kitchen will be used to prep food. This will consist of pre-made items and will not be prepared to order. The primary purpose of the business is beverage focused, specifically the production and sale of hard cider, with food offered only as a secondary amenity. The upper level will include an office space, break room, and some storage areas. This is the same layout of what is currently there. Overall, the proposed the proposed on-site coverage is 15,579 square feet, which will be a reduction to the existing coverage. The off-site coverage is subject to change due to the construction of a sidewalk within the city right-of-way. This is conditioned in the city permit, attachment 5, and TRPA permit, attachment 6. There will be a TRPA mobility mitigation fee for the change of use. This has also been conditioned in the TRPA permit. Overall, the proposed Tahoe Cider Company project is consistent with applicable city plans. The project supports community and economic development goals by revitalizing an underutilized commercial site, creating a neighborhood gathering place, and enhancing the pedestrian environment through the addition of new sidewalks and landscaping. The project also aligns with the scenic corridor standards through earth tone colors and appropriate materials, as well as reducing coverage on the site. The financial implication of this project is receiving $7,664.86 for the purchase and transfer of city-owned CFA, as well as any future sales tax. Staff recommends approval of this item. The item before the commission is a motion to pass a resolution finding the project is categorically exempt from CEQA, approving the major design review permit, TRPA permit, and the allocation and transfer of 1,033 square feet of CFA, based on the consistencies made in the staff report. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions. The applicant, as well as the design professional, are in attendance to answer any questions as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Ms.
thank you.
Wood. I had just mostly one quick question for you. The rest is for the applicant. I was reviewing the city permit for the CFA, and I just had a question about the third item on there. It said the proposed project would provide environmental and economic benefits to the community by expanding housing options for the city of South Lake Tahoe, and I wasn't sure
Does
how
it say that?
it does. So I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, that would be an error, as there's no residential component
Okay.
in this. There is the neighborhood gathering aspect of it, which could enhance kind of the area for more pedestrian access to gathering, but specifically residential, that would have been an error.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, those are my only questions for you. Do we have anybody else with questions? Go. Oh, go for it. We'll just go down the line.
Can you explain what neighborhood gathering is with the green circle on the map?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a part of our general plan from 2011. And there's a few designated areas that are specifically for encouraging commercial development that would enhance specific neighborhoods. Due to the adjacent neighborhoods to this area, it was shown as a walkable area.
Okay, thank you.
I have more of an observation than anything else. I said I want to commend you guys, or the Tahoe Cider Company, for bringing this kind of project to our city. This is exactly the type of project that I believe is a good fit for South Lake Tahoe. Small business is vital to the success of our city, and transforming a questionable building into a thriving business is a win-win for us all. While parking may be an issue, that's never stopped us from supporting projects in the past, and there appears to be good off-site parking. I fully support your project and wish you success. I have no questions and looking forward to its opening. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
So, understand that this it's going to be a flat roof? Looks like it is.
Partially, yes. So the part of the garage that will be retained and repainted will continue to be flat. There is an expanded part that will also be flat. And then the rest will be the 6 to 12.
Okay, so how we've had issues with flat roofs in the past, mainly, 3 winters ago. Is it going to be reinforced enough so that we don't have an issue with the flat roof issue?
I would defer that to the design professional.
Maybe it's time we go ahead and bring up the applicant.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you like to come up to the podium? Thank you so much.
And we do have a structural engineer who's evaluating the existing garage portion of the roof, which is the central low slope roof that is sloping to the back. And in their analysis, they'll review it and make sure that it is up to current codes. We are not planning on adding anything to the roof for additional loads. Our mechanical units for the warehouse portion will be back on the new warehouse portion. It'll also feed the offices upstairs. And then everything else will be inside the building and not on the roof or adding loads to the roof. So we believe it should meet the current code.
Okay, so, and then the new construction is obviously going to be meeting the new snow loads?
Yes, we have a gable section that's is replacing a portion that was water damaged, and it will be engineered to meet current codes, the 2002 CBC, and as well as the warehouse.
Is there a drainage system up there?
Everything, there's no internal drainage. Everything will be sloping back to the inside of the site and will be picked up and taken to gravel.
No, I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is on the roof itself. Okay, many times when you have a flat roof, they're gonna have it's gonna slope down into a drain. So that.
There'll be gutters along the edge of the low side of the slope roofs. Won't be internal drains.
And what is your name, sir?
What?
What is your name?
Joseph Ward, sorry.
You're
Apologize
a
for doing
designer,
that.
you're an architect, right?
Yes.
Well, hello and welcome. Yeah, overall, I think the project looks great. I think it, to Mr. Imhoff's point, this is going to be a massive improvement over, what has been standing there along the highway for many years now. So very exciting to see it coming.
Thank you.
A couple of quick questions. I was looking at the site plan and I know you guys are looking at maybe having a food truck and potentially permitting that in the future. How is your delivery access at this point? Because that seems to be the most appropriate place for a delivery for barrels or any other equipment. And I was wondering how that would work.
I mean,
yeah, so let's see if we go back. I don't know if you can pull up the part, but the delivery truck is intended to come right in that lower parking lot. It'll probably be once a month that the juice truck comes in, and we have the garage access to where the vats will be. So that truck will probably be there once a month, and we'll do it when there's not a lot of traffic.
Gotcha. Okay. And I did notice, and this might just be a typo, on your parking analysis, you guys were noting the 19-foot spaces as 15 of them, and then the 17-foot spaces as 2. I think it's the reverse. So just something to catch. Yeah, it's just little things because I was looking at it, I was like, what is, yeah. And then the last thing, so I just really want to clarify the existing masonry portion of the building. You're just painting the CMU, right? You're not actually going to resite it to match the new portion, correct?
The Lake Tahoe Boulevard facing side will all be hardy board. Mm-hmm. And then the part that is behind, so going up Winnemucca, current plans is just to paint it, but did we put in a potential?
we had talked about doing an alternate to the contractor to side that.
Mhm.
Preference would be to side it, but
Oh, okay. Depends on cost.
budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The CMU portion of the building that is existing would be painted, color to match the blue siding to tie it together.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. And then, sorry, I'm like looking at your elevations and I'm trying to remember what I wanted to ask. On the rear portion where you are proposing the fire pit patio, you know, you have the garage roll-up door and another exit door. Are you planning to put any sort of like overhang or roof over those doors? Or is that just like, it just for snow and protection and stuff like
Don't think we're currently planning to do that.
Current plan to do that.
that? Okay. It's just something you may want to consider, just because our snow can get pretty intense here. Pretty much the only questions I have for you guys. Do we have anything else? No? Yeah, go for it.
I do. Okay. Is the outdoor area, I know part of it is going to be covered. What was it? It's going to be tile or something like that?
Yeah, pavers.
Pavers? Have you thought about putting in a heating system out there? To a snow melt system?
We have
in there?
not.
Okay. Because it'll probably be very popular in the wintertime. I noticed in the presentation it was saying that it's going to be pre-prepared food, but you have a full kitchen in here.
Yes. So
So is that just in case you decide that at some point you wish to cook your own?
pretty much, the plan is to have pre-made food, whether it's made by another entrepreneur in town in their kitchen, or we're building one in case we need to make it there. And also optionality down the road. I think just food's important for our patrons.
Yeah.
We just don't want to run a restaurant, but we want to have food for our patrons.
So, but you may want to, you could actually have someone else run the restaurant portion for you if you don't want to run it?
Possibly. So that's why we're building it out as a full.
So that's going to
kitchen.
be built out with fully equipped?
Correct.
Okay. And what percentage of your sales do you, of your cider sales do you expect to be in-house?
Oh, as much as possible, but I really don't know.
Okay, because you've got quite a number of vats here and a big storage space. I'm assuming that you're going to also maybe sell some to some of the
Yeah,
other
they're
restaurants.
each 30-barrel tanks. So 3 of those are primary fermentation tanks, and there's one that can be used for both fermentation and the bright tank for carbonating it. So in theory, that means we could do 120 barrels a month, but that would be really great. But it's relatively speaking a very small production facility that we anticipate being able to produce enough for the tap room and potentially local distribution.
Okay. And I'm assuming that you'll probably be doing both fermented and non-fermented alcohol and non-alcohol probably.
We'll definitely have non-alcohol. It's fastest growing beverage segment. But yes, we'll
do
have both
both.
options.
Okay. That's pretty much the only thing I have.
Part of the storage is that we don't have room for actually having canning equipment in the site. So we'll be using a mobile canner to come in, and their minimum batch is 30 barrels. So we need enough storage for 30 barrels worth of cans, and that's what will be on the pallets in the warehouse extension.
Okay, so you may sell cans off-site to
Correct.
Other places along with kegs to other restaurants and things like that?
Awesome. Do we have any other questions for our applicants? No? Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and open this item up for public comment. If we have anyone in the audience that would like to come on up.
My name is Ole Olson, and I own property right across the street from this place, an apartment complex, and I've been in there for many, many years, like 40 years or so. It's been a huge traffic situation right there, and especially in the summertime when the people take cutoffs from getting around the Y. and they come down through that street, and then they get stuck trying to get out onto the highway, turning left onto the highway. You just can't do it. And there's been several accidents on that corner of Barton and Winnemucca. And I have a house right across the street. I'm a little concerned about the traffic flow and the parking and situations that seem to develop more in the summertime than they do in the wintertime. And then obviously during the winter, we have snow situations. They can't plow toward the highway. They have to plow from the highway up, and they're always unloading snow right there. There's just no place. They got to make that turn onto Barton, and when they do so, there's just nowhere to put the snow, and it just becomes a real, a bad situation. And my concern is, and I'm pro-business, and I really enjoy the fact that somebody gets to do that, and I appreciate the pictures, because I couldn't hear one word you said. So the sound isn't good back here, by the way, and it is my hearing. But so I don't really know what's going on here, what's happening. I'm just more concerned about whether it's creating traffic, creating parking, because people seem to just, as much as they want to control it, seem to just do whatever they want. It's my concern.
Appreciate your comments, sir. Do we have anyone else in the audience who'd like to speak? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and.
We'll open up our Zoom platform for anyone who wants to provide public comment on agenda item number 2. There are no hands raised, Chair.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and bring this back to the Planning Commission. And I actually would like to address the comment that was just made by your neighbor. So I think you had mentioned, or Ms. Skolman had mentioned in the presentation that the first driveway, the lower driveway, is being moved away from the intersection to ideally help reduce the conflicts, because I know right now you can basically cut in at a diagonal and just go right in. So hopefully defining the driveway, adding curbs, improving the sidewalks will hopefully alleviate some of the traffic concerns that have been brought up. Additionally, I believe the upper lot right now is just like a chunk of concrete. I don't think it's marked, and nobody really knows what they can do with it. So adding the striping, adding hopefully some signage will also help with that. I don't know whether the applicant would be willing, or if there's an option of maybe doing a right turn only coming out of the driveways and forcing people to go around back Barton to exit out towards a light rather than directly onto Winnemucca. I'm not sure that that is something that you would be able to do, but some ways to encourage people to not take a left out of there, especially during, rush hour traffic, busy weekends, would be really, really great.
I think that's a really good point. Trying to get people to just go around the back, and the neighborhood might not like that as much, but it does there are always accidents right in that area and by grocery outlets. So, but I agree, the way they have the parking just kind of laid out and mapped out, and like you said, with curbs and striping and all of that, hopefully it'll help just lay everything out better for people when they're coming in and out of there. But overall, I think the project, I love that it's using what's there, but also adding to it. It's great to see what has unfortunately become an eyesore turn into something modern and innovative, and something that we don't have up here as a cidery. I think the food option is great with the prepackaged and kind of to-go style. So I'm excited for you guys and happy that you are doing this. So thanks for the presentation.
I too concur. I think it's going to be an outstanding project. You're taking a building that is very questionable and making it a very nice place for people to visit, and I'll be there at your opening. Thank you.
On your thought about making it a right turn only, I mean, it will be a difficult situation, especially in the wintertime, but then we're moving more traffic into that neighborhood. So it's kind of do we want to do that, or do we just want to, I'm not sure, I'd want to move it into the neighborhood more?
I'm not even sure it would really be within the ability of the applicant to necessarily direct traffic that way. But, it is definitely something to consider.
I think it would probably be the ability of the planning commission to direct it if that's what our thought was, but I'm not sure it would be. That's not something would be comfortable moving more traffic into the neighborhood.
I don't think it's something that I would put in as a condition either. Just maybe something to consider, since you do have a neighbor who's been there for a long time, who's seen these problems crop up. So it may be something to consider as you further develop your project. But yeah, other than that, kind of to echo everybody else, this is going to be awesome. So we're very, very excited, and feel like we're kind of done with our comments. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I move that the project be categorically exempt from CEQA pursuant to Section 15302, Class 2, consisting of replacement and construction of the existing structure and facilities. Approve the major design review permit DR 25-002 and TRPA permit DR 25-002. Approve the allocation and transfer of 1,033 square feet of commercial floor plan to the parcel, and make all other findings set forth in this resolution.
I'll second it.
That motion carries.
Congratulations, you guys. On to the next step. And with that, we have come to the end of our agenda, and we will now have some updates and announcements from our city staff.
No meeting in July. Enjoy your summer. And your next scheduled meeting is August 21st.
Yeah, no further updates for me, and we'll see you in August.
Awesome. Do we have any planning commissioner reports or updates? All right, everybody go enjoy the afternoon. We're adjourned.